Welcome to This Generation. I'm Bethany Stanley. Today we'll travel up the Nushagak River to the southern Yupik village of New Stuyahok, where you'll meet many of the youth and see what they're doing to prepare for their future. This is one show you won't want to miss. Now let's go to New Stuyahok.
I was born and raised in New Stuyahok, which really isn't the name. Some of our elders prefer to call it Eneyuk because of the creek that is located on the north end of us here. The reason why it's New Stuyahok is because there was two other old villages up on the Malchatna River, Stuyahok and the Old Stuyahok, and our people just kept on moving on down the river here.
This present location is the third site that villagers can remember. In 1918, the villagers moved downriver to the Malchatna area from the old village. During the 20s and 30s, the village was engaged in herding reindeer for the U.S. government. However, by 1942, the herd had dwindled down to nothing. Flooding had taken its toll on the site, and they were too far inland even to receive barge service. So in 1942, the village moved downriver again to its present location. Stuyahok appropriately means going downriver place. It's a place where the busyness of the big cities seems so far away. A place where during the summer, dust fills the air and kids fill the swimming holes. There are just under 500 people living in New Stuyahok today, and only 60 to 70 jobs available within or nearby the village. 43 residents hold commercial fishing permits, but with the low prices that have been devastating many villages and communities throughout Alaska, commercial fishing in New Stuyahok is becoming a thing of the past.
Fishing has always been a viable economic base for the village, but since the prices have dwindled, there isn't much money to be made by our children, our younger kids, or even for people my age.
And with almost half of the village population being youth under the age of 20, there will be plenty of hard workers available, but only jobs for a few.
Out here in the bush, you don't get very much jobs, opportunities. You know, you'd have to go move to Dillingham or to Anchorage to get money, or basically just go to school, major in teaching or whatever, you know.
It's pretty slow. There's a few odd jobs, a few projects that come around once in a while, but that's not a way to make a living. Basically, our fishing, but that's gone really bad, so have to turn to somewhere else for a job. These guys provide it.
What Michael is referring to is the Youth Opportunity Program. Under the Workforce Investment Act, the U.S. Department of Labor has granted $8 million in funding to be divided amongst 45 different villages and sites throughout rural Alaska. This money is being used to train and prepare youth in these villages to enter the workforce of the 21st century.
Our goal is to give them that the opportunity that they'll be well prepared for when they do start out on their own. You know, the first time we have various supportive services that we can provide for these youth.
Some of the things that the Youth Opportunity Program offers are job skills training, work experience, and job shadowing opportunities, job interview skills, and a variety of employability skills that will last these youth a lifetime.
They've helped me a lot in my first step in the work life. All through high school, I've been through sports and practices, so I didn't get much work experience. these BBDC and this Youth Opportunity Grant offer that work experience. Put me through some training. It's really nice. I like this program, both.
Working alongside in conjunction with the Youth Opportunity Program is the Youth Employability Program, sponsored by the Bristol Bay Economic Development Corporation in Dillingham, a regional entity that stands behind the people of this area. The Youth Employability Program is similar to the Youth Opportunity Program in that they are both aimed at preparing youth for the workforce and assist many of these kids in finding part-time and full-time employment.
When I got involved in this program, I traveled up to New Stuyahok with Bruce, who represented the Youth Opportunities Grant. We met with each of the students and filled out individual service strategies. And the goals for the Youth Opportunity Grant was to make students employable, or youth employable, not students, but any youth, both in school and out of school, and that was also the goal of our program.
What this project does, it works with in-school kids as well as out-of-school youth. For in-school youth, their main goals have been to increase their math and reading grade levels by at least a half a grade level. And for our out-of-school kids, we've tried to work on their employability skills, work ethic, giving them an opportunity to develop the necessary employability skills that they need to be successful in the workforce.
We're working on getting individual service strategy plans filed for each and every youth in our 5 villages that we service. And what ISS does is it puts on paper what the goals and the dreams are of the youth, and then we break it further down into all the steps that it's going to take to get there, what kind of vocational schools are available to them, what kind of scholarships they need, referrals, a lot of networking. Do you show up on time when they call you?
Yeah.
Okay, you're punctual.
Catherine Reamey is the Regional Youth Employment Specialist for the program. Today, Catherine and Nadia Gumlickpuk are going over Nadia's ISS plan. Nadia has plans on furthering her education in, well, education.
To go back to college, I'm going back this summer for summer school, and I'm not too sure about fall yet, maybe spring. Either want to be an elementary teacher or a special education teacher. When you start applying for scholarships or summer jobs after high school before you go to college, or right after college, you need like references for like your resumes, and they help us make resumes here, so that'll be nice. And also like the jobs around here can help. I was working under the Bristol Bay Youth Opportunity Program, and they just placed me in a job where I can put my hours in, where I learned about filing and answering phones and entering data and working with clients of that work area.
Jeannie Green Productions, Alaska's premier commercial, documentary, and event production team. Whenever and wherever you need video production, our experienced, dedicated professionals give your project the extra edge you're looking for. Alaska Native owned and operated. Jeannie Green Productions, your complete video production service.
Welcome back. Now it's time to meet the people who make the program's work in the village. We'll also see what these busy youth are up to and where they've been out to.
You'd be working with 5 of our
Meet Marilyn Konukpeok, the Youth Development Specialist for the new Stuyahok's Youth Opportunity Program. As a YDS, Marilyn is in direct contact with the kids, helping them find work and access valuable resources.
I meet with youth once or twice a month We're doing ISIS follow-up, see how they're doing, see if they have any concerns that they may need help or assistance with. Basically just to see how they're doing.
You are showing your employer, your potential employer, your first piece of work, that application is.
Today, Pat Freeland was in New Stuyahok to give a job interview workshop to some of the youth. Pat works with the Bristol Bay Job Center in Dillingham.
I work strictly in Southwest Alaska. Work in the Bristol Bay Job Centers in Dillingham, Alaska, and we service 32 villages in Southwest Alaska. Our goal with Employment Service is to get these people at an earlier age ready for the workplace, to be better interviewers so they have a better chance of getting the job. I also do workshops, did one last Monday in Togiak on work ethics, how to keep the job once you have it. I have a PowerPoint presentation on interview skills, and with these skills we have exercises that I pass out, and the audience participates. They write down their answers. We go over everything. This gives the young people ideas on what they should do or not do at a job interview. In the afternoon, we do mock interviews, and we have the first interview is of a person that is very unorganized. Is there any chance I could take my lunch from 11:30 on? You see, Marsha works in the building across the street. We sort of planned on taking our lunch breaks together so we could go shopping.
Well, Ms. Woods, we'll have to see about that.
And not very polite and not very interested in the job. And you progress from there to a very shy person.
I'd rather work by myself, but I can work with other people if I have to.
What kind of a boss would you like to work for?
And the last interview is of a person that's very confident, very interested in the job. Come in, please.
Good morning, Mr. Martin. I'm Mr. Cooper.
Oh, yes, please come in, Mr. Cooper. Personnel just called to tell me that you're on your way up.
I hope I'm not too early.
No, you're right on time. Please, sit down. And at the end of the interview, they have an interview evaluation that they evaluate the job seeker, person that's being interviewed, and they can, as if they were the employer. Show interest in finding out about the benefits, and remember the name of the interviewer and use it often during the interview. There's a very high need, especially in rural Alaska, because the people in rural Alaska are competing for positions along with people that live in urban areas, and they're just not equipped without the training to compete for those same jobs.
But it takes more than words to teach a youth what it's like in the outside world. It takes hard work, and what better way to learn than by doing? Last summer, kids in the Youth Opportunity Program got together to pick up trash and clean up their village, and they got paid to do it. On top of that, other youth, like Esther Edwards, were spending their time helping others.
I was helping out at the summer program. I helped the teachers, so I was just reading to kids. I helped elders clean their house, and I read to the children in the reading program, and I cleaned the church. We worked 6 hours a day, and we had to keep track of who we worked for and how many hours we worked.
We set up sort of a youth group to do stuff in the community to keep other kids busy, so they don't try to keep them occupied, offer help with their homework. They got me a job here, part-time, just painting up this building, renovate. Did some painting on the inside too. There's a pretty old building, so we had to fix it up, make it look usable.
I worked the summer program last summer, and I worked with the BBNA Workforce Development Center, and I was just her aide for the summer, I just filed papers and added data into the computer, answered phones, and stuff like that. I liked it. I liked it a lot. It was interesting and learned about the workforce development here.
What we do here is we team up and get together in groups. We just help out with our community. We clean the trash every spring and fall. Kids working with elders, helping them out, doing their chores. We job shadow like VPSO, Peace Store workers, health aides, anybody who you want to job shadow, you can get to experience working with them, how they work.
Learned how to be patient.
And patience is what it takes when you're busy getting ready for graduation and senior prom. Mary Andrews and Wassillisia Gumlickpuk have got their work cut out for them because graduation and prom are tomorrow night.
We're taping the lights onto our cloud so it can have light to it, and we're going to put it on the wall. It's part of overlook of college. Our theme about dreams and stuff.
And for the first time in history, or so we were told, all 5 graduating seniors have plans for going to college.
We're all going to different places and doing different things.
I'll be going to Fort Lewis College in Colorado. My major will be political science and my minor will be pre-law, so I want to work in the government or something.
I plan to go to UAA to get my bachelor's degree in education. I want to become a Head Start teacher or kindergarten teacher and hopefully teach in a village.
I plan to attend Job Corps for a while. Just for maybe a year or so.
Any things you want to learn through Job Corps?
Accounting and child development.
I will be going to Fort Lewis in this fall.
To study for what?
I'll try to get my bachelor's degree in education.
This winter I'll be going to Alaska Pacific University for college.
What are you going to study?
Elementary ed.
After I graduate in July, I'll be going to Australia for basketball for 2 weeks.
And speaking of basketball, these 2 young men just recently returned from a youth opportunity basketball tournament in Boston, where they teamed up with youth from other villages in Alaska to compete against youth opportunity teams from across the nation.
This was a great opportunity for us, especially for small villages like this, getting to go to a city or out of state and play ball. And this was cool because most villages don't get to have this chance or opportunity, and we're very glad Marilyn helped us out.
I'd like to recognize one of the out-of-school youth. Her name is Marian Petla. She's 19, has been in the program for about a year, going on 2 years. And she's been one of the active youth in our program. Last year in April, she was selected for the National Youth Employment Coalition Institutional Racism Conference, which was held in Washington, D.C. And she was the only youth there to represent Alaska.
And whether it's a degree in political science or a commercial driver's license, the youth of New Stuyahok are getting a first-hand experience of what lies ahead.
Jeannie Green Productions is pleased to announce that 3 of our programs will be screened at this year's Native American Film and Television Alliance Festival in Burbank, California. Stories selected for this event are Barrow, Selawik, and a commercial for Aquafina bottled water. We're honored to participate in this year's festival and wish to thank the Native American Film and Television Alliance for selecting our programs.
Can I take your order?
Give me 15 cheeseburgers.
Come on. Can I take your order?
Can I take your number?
Can I take your order?
You got any egg?
Can I take your order?
Man, I don't have any money. I don't have any money. All right, well, all right, go.
Man, watch out!
Welcome back. You've seen and heard a lot of the youth who are making changes in their lives through the Youth Opportunity Program. Now it's time to travel downriver to Dillingham to meet a couple of youth who are receiving work experience outside of their village.
Through the Youth Opportunity Program and Youth Employability Program, both the in-school youth and out-of-school youth of New Stuyahok have the opportunity to learn and advance in a career of their choice. Two youth from New Stuyahok who are working in a profession of their choosing are David Eneyuk and Teresa Weedman. Teresa is working as a dental assistant with the Bristol Bay Area Health Corporation in Dillingham.
My first time assisting was with a dental hygienist. Basically just using air, water, syringes, and suction, and learning all kinds of different instruments they use. A lot of it is pretty much overwhelming, but once you get used to it and get to know everything, it's a lot of fun. My favorite part of working out here is working in the lab. I learned how to do the impressions and other trays.
And although she is only 25 minutes away from New Stuyahok by air, she has taken the initiative to leave her home village and work in the field of her choice for 6 weeks.
Dave, let's go for a run.
Now meet David Eneyuk. David has been serving time with the police, the Dillingham police.
On my work days, I come with my field training officer, Dan Pasquarello, and he shows me on the computer. We do some reports and etc. And we do a lot of patrolling, and he tells me how to like keep a good eye out and when and not to do this, and it's been a real great experience.
What we did today is we're trying to implement community-oriented policing in Dillingham. And part of community-oriented policing is forming a partnership with the community to identify and solve social issues. I think part and parcel of that is we were attempting to show some of the young youth in the community that may not have a positive male role model that it's okay to be straight, it's okay to be a law enforcement officer, and just trying to encourage them and give them some hope, and perhaps they can model some of our positive behavior. It allows us, a prospective employer, to view this individual over an extended period of time. We are able to see their adaptability, their flexibility, their responsibility if they come to work on time. So I see it as a win-win for not only the intern, so that they can perhaps see firsthand what law enforcement is, and more importantly, what it is not, because it is not anything like on TV. And then it allows the prospective employer to see firsthand in a close-up fashion perhaps some of the characteristics that might be desirable in a prospective employee, and at the same time some undesirable characteristics.
Well, for the youth, I guess to say the traveling is excellent. You get to meet a lot of people, different type of people, And one thing it does, it keeps you working. It doesn't make you just sit there and listen to someone say, do this, do that. It lets you be on the job.
For David, he is living a long-awaited dream, learning the ropes while serving the community. But it's not all that it's cracked up to be.
Well, I thought it was going to be like, my first thought came was, you know, because like you watch TV and you're going to be out wrestling people or doing that kind of stuff, and really it's not. It's at some point you may have to do that, but it's been really great here.
As for the kids who are too young to be enrolled in the program, their needs are being met at the local Boys and Girls Club, where one can indulge in a variety of activities, provided that there's not a game of stickball going on outside. All of these youth are success stories, or success stories just waiting to happen. Through programs like the Youth Employability Program and the Youth Opportunity Program, the challenges that once looked like a mountain to climb are looking more like rolling hills.
Kids in New Stuyahok, they should like trying to look more towards the future and what they're going to be doing, and because commercial fishing will not always support them, and they got to go out and find jobs, and the Youth Opportunity Program can really help you on that.
Get involved. It's a really nice program. They've done a lot for me.
These kids are so anxious and eager and willing to learn new things. They want adventure. They want the whole world in the palm of their hands, and now they realize that they have it.
Thanks for joining us this week for This Generation. Be sure to tune in next week as we take you on another adventure through the lives of Native youth. Until then, so long.